What drives a man to commit an unspeakable act of terror against his own countrymen? In the grim landscape of contemporary violence, Anders Behring Breivik stands as a stark symbol of radical extremism and the horrific potential it harbors. His meticulously planned and ruthlessly executed attacks in Norway shocked the world and forever changed the perception of extremism in Europe. Today, we delve into the chilling story of one of the most notorious terrorists in recent history, exploring the harrowing events that shattered a nation and left an indelible mark on global security. Anders Behring Breivik was born on February 13, 1979, in Oslo, Norway, to Wenche Behring and Jens David Breivik. His early life seemed unremarkable on the surface, growing up in the Oslo suburb of Skøyen with his half-sister and stepbrother. However, beneath this facade of normalcy lay a growing obsession with far-right ideology and a profound disdain for multiculturalism and immigration. Breivik's descent into extremism was gradual, but deeply rooted in his ideological convictions, which he began to formulate during his teenage years. Breivik's parents divorced when he was young, and he was reportedly bullied at school, experiences that contributed to his social isolation and sense of alienation. Despite his privileged upbringing and opportunities, including attending prestigious schools, Breivik developed an increasingly extremist worldview. His writings and manifesto, 2083, a European Declaration of Independence, which he published online shortly before his attacks, outlined his extremist views and revealed a mind consumed by hatred and a desire for radical change. The manifesto, a sprawling document of over 2,500 pages, detailed Breivik's beliefs that Europe was under threat from multiculturalism, Islam, and what he saw as a leftist political agenda. It laid out his twisted rationale for the attacks as a necessary step to awaken Europe to what he perceived as an existential threat to its cultural and ethnic identity. Breivik saw himself as a modern-day crusader, tasked with the mission of preserving what he considered to be the true European culture. Breivik's childhood and early adulthood were marked by various personal and social challenges. He struggled with social integration, reportedly having few close friends and spending much of his time immersed in online communities that reinforced his extremist views. His fascination with far-right ideologies and militant nationalism deepened over time, fueled by interactions with like-minded individuals on the internet and his own readings of historical and political texts. He believed that violent action was the only means to achieve his goals, a belief that would have devastating consequences. In July 2011, Breivik launched a meticulously planned assault that would forever change Norway. On July 22nd, he detonated a bomb in Oslo's government district, targeting buildings housing the Prime Minister's office and other key government offices. The explosion killed 8 people and injured dozens more, leaving a city in shock and disbelief. The blast, which was felt throughout the city center, shattered windows and spread debris over a wide area, marking the beginning of a day of terror that would scar Norway deeply. But Breivik's rampage didn't end with the bombing. After the explosion, he traveled to the island of Utøya, where a summer youth camp organized by the Norwegian Labour Party was taking place. Disguised as a police officer, Breivik methodically hunted down and gunned down defenseless teenagers and young adults. The brutal massacre claimed the lives of 69 individuals, many of them teenagers with bright futures ahead of them. The attack on Utøya, which lasted for more than an hour before police arrived, remains one of the deadliest mass shootings by a single gunman in modern history. The attacks were not just acts of violence, they were calculated attempts to sow fear, division, and chaos. Breivik's manifesto revealed a twisted belief that his actions would ignite a revolution against multiculturalism and perceived leftist policies in Europe. The sheer brutality and callousness of his attacks shocked the world and sparked urgent debates on extremism, security, and the rise of far-right ideologies in Western societies. Breivik's trial in 2012 captivated global attention. His courtroom demeanor was chillingly detached as he justified his actions and showed no remorse for the lives he had taken. The trial became a platform for survivors and families of victims to confront the man responsible for their unimaginable loss. Despite his conviction and sentencing to 21 years in prison, the maximum under Norwegian law, which can be extended indefinitely, Breivik remains a symbol of hate and a stark reminder of the dangers posed by extremist ideologies. The impact of Anders Behring Breivik's actions continues to reverberate through Norwegian society and beyond. The scars left by his attacks are still visible, reminding us of the vulnerability of open societies to extremism and the importance of vigilance in safeguarding against such horrors. In the wake of the attacks, Norway has worked to strengthen its social fabric, fostering greater resilience and unity in the face of extremist threats. Breivik's case also highlighted significant issues within Norwegian and European societies, including the rise of right-wing extremism, the challenges of addressing radicalization, and the complexities of balancing security with civil liberties. His ability to plan and execute such a devastating attack despite being known to authorities for his extremist views raised serious questions about intelligence gathering and preventive measures against terrorism. In the aftermath of the attacks, Norway underwent a period of national mourning and soul-searching. Memorials were held for the victims, and efforts were made to support survivors and their families. The government implemented changes to improve emergency response procedures and strengthen counter-terrorism measures, aiming to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Norwegian society has also taken steps to promote dialogue and understanding, countering the narratives that fuel hate and division. Anders Behring Breivik's legacy is one of pain, loss, and unanswered questions. His name remains synonymous with extremism and terrorism, a stark reminder of the potential for hatred and violence within societies that pride themselves on tolerance and inclusivity. The wounds inflicted by his actions may heal with time, but the lessons learned from his rampage continue to shape discussions on security, extremism, and the protection of democratic values in the face of ideological threats. Breivik's actions have had a lasting impact on global security discourse, prompting increased scrutiny of extremist movements and their online presence. His ability to radicalize and carry out deadly attacks served as a wake-up call for governments and law enforcement agencies worldwide, emphasizing the need for proactive measures to combat radicalization and prevent lone actor terrorism. His attacks have also prompted discussions on how to better integrate and support at-risk individuals within society, reducing the allure of extremist ideologies. The case of Anders Behring Breivik serves as a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges in combating extremism in all its forms. It underscores the importance of addressing underlying social, political, and economic grievances that can fuel radicalization and violence. As societies continue to grapple with the legacy of Breivik's attacks, the quest for understanding, prevention, and resilience remains ongoing. The tragic events of July 22, 2011, have left a profound legacy in Norway and beyond. They serve as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance, unity, and compassion in the face of extremism. The resilience and strength demonstrated by the survivors, families of victims, and the Norwegian people as a whole offer a beacon of hope in the struggle against hatred and violence. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories, and let us know in the comments who you'd like us to cover next. Stay safe.